as always, Ted, kicks us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
This one was interesting. Matt Campbell. Did you see this thing in his contract?
Yeah.
Matt Campbell's got a provision in his contract that if Iowa State raises their academic standards for entry, his contract dissolves and is done on the spot, which is, I mean, from all angles, it's kind of a weird thing. Like, it tells me there must have been some real thought put in by Iowa State to doing that. And the only thing I could think of, and I don't know anything about Iowa State athletics, is the Big Ten has like a,
like the AAU rating or whatever.
They have some type of standard and like group of universities that you have to be in order to be in the Big Ten. I think like that's the only thing I would think of why he would be so adamant about putting that in a contract.
I am curious as to how many other coaches have a similar provision.
Yeah.
In their contract. It could be kind of standard for coaches at a public university, and we really just don't know it. But yeah, because remember, Nebraska was an AAU school. I think that's what it's called.
I think that's right.
And then they got to the Big Ten, and then they lost their accreditation or whatever. And the Big Ten was like, "Oh man, okay." But that's interesting because, and I don't think the Big Ten, not to insult Iowa State, I don't think they'd ever be interested in Iowa State.
It's a very small, like you're not, like when they add teams, like the new, I saw this, I don't know how much truth there is to it, but apparently the battle is going to be between the Big Ten and the SEC for North Carolina and Virginia, right? Because
very good schools
and markets that you don't have any representation in, and there's some decent sized television markets, right? There's not a big television market in Iowa, and you've already got representation there with the University of Iowa. So it's like they're, good school, good basketball school, good football school, but not a lot of eyeballs, not going to be interested. I thought that was really interesting for Matt Campbell. And I thought, hey, smart of him to, anything that you can put in your contract that says it dissolves at this point kind of in your favor is a good thing.
I will say this. I've talked to Jamie Pollard, their athletic director, a lot. We have him on our Sirius show all the time. And he's told us multiple times, pretty much anything that Matt Campbell wants, he gets there.
Yeah.
So if anyone is out there wondering why hasn't he made the move, it's because he literally gets to do whatever he wants. And they leave him alone. He never does interviews. He never does, like, he just gets to live his life. I think he coaches, can't remember if it's softball or volleyball, but he like coaches his daughter's team.
Nice.
So it's like, I think his quality of life there is very, very high. Right. So they got to win some football games. Well, they got to get back on track, but
it's not an easy job. He's done really good since he's been there, but it's like if you don't get over that hump, you almost have to reset and start again. And they're one of the harder teams to kind of gauge what this upcoming year is going to be like, because they're not as bad as what the record was last year, right? And so it's hard to forecast moving forward, like who they're going to be.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. Who do you have as your loser of the week?
I had to go ORU. They're out of it. They're out of it. And it was cool that they made it. It was awesome to see, Oklahoma represented again in a small school there. They've got a really good baseball program. And first time that was 78, I think, whenever they last had gone. But did you happen to catch the game against TCU?
Yeah, I watched a good bit of it.
Did you see how it ended? Listen to this. They're down 6-1. Okay. Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. ORU's up 6-1, bases loaded, 2 outs, full count. Okay. If you throw a ball, you walk in a run, and the tying run comes to the plate. The batter takes the last pitch. Inner half, season over. You
can't do it.
You just cannot do that.
Can't do that.
He's firing a fastball right down the pipe. Like, here it comes. Even if you hit a home run and empty him, it's 6-5, right? And the tying run's coming to the plate, right? They're not going to walk someone in and try and get you to chase something. Here it comes. You got to get the bat off your shoulder right there. That was a frustrating way for it to end. Not that, they're in a really bad spot anyways, but that was not how you wanted the very last pitch of the season to go.
No. I won't lie. I turned it off when it was 6-0. I think it was like the 5th inning. I was like, hey, I got some stuff to do. I missed the dramatic ending. You can't take in that situation. Come on, man.
No. It wasn't all that dramatic. Like, it would happen to be on while I was doing my radio show in studio, and I had like dismissed it and looked back up there, and I was like, oh, okay. We got a little something here. And then I watched that at bat, and all I could do is just be like, no, you cannot do that in that spot, man. I don't know. It's wild. I hated it for him, but good season.
Yeah, hell of a run, and they didn't finish last in the Jello shots thing.
Yeah.
Congrats to Virginia.
Yeah, it was. But they had like 500 the last time I heard.
Yeah, it was not a good performance.
Which is a lot of Jello shots, but still.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
John Vance Auto Group has been serving Oklahomans for 40 years. Family owned and operated. They got 9 full-service dealerships in Woodward, Miami, and Guthrie. No matter what your vehicle needs are, John Vance Auto Group has you covered. They carry domestic brands such as Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Wagoneer. John Vance Auto Group's goal is to give unequaled service and to exceed customers' expectations in every way, which is why they have their lifetime loyalty program. And here's how it works. Buy a new or used car from them. All you have to do is get all of the manufacturer recommended maintenance done at the Vance dealership. And if something goes wrong with the components of your engine, transmission, drive, axle, or transfer unit, they will cover the repair costs. It's a great deal. You can browse their entire inventory or find the John Vance dealership near you at vanceautogroup.com.
And First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. Ladies and gentlemen, make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information. All right, for my winner of the week, thought about going with Victor Wembanyama. He's about to go number 1 in the NBA draft. That's got to be an awesome feeling. Getting to do all the cool stuff, right? Going around New York City. Did you see him on the subway? That was a hilarious visual. Throughout the first pitch of the Yankees game. Now, honestly, some people are giving him a hard time for it. With that length, man, it was kind of better than I thought it was going to be.
Did you see the picture of the baseball in his hand?
Oh my gosh.
That's
a big hand.
I mean, you get into like I always remember Shaq shooting free throws and he's like trying to balance the ball in his huge hand. It's got to be I'm sure big hands is a good thing for being a pitcher, but you reach a point of diminishing return somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's insane. And he went on JJ Redick's podcast. Ty is extremely insightful for, what is he, 19 years old?
Huh. I need to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. It's really interesting. Seems like a bit of a deep thinker. Also, every time I see him, like, he's dressed really cool. I think it's hard to be cool when you're that big and goofy.
Yeah.
But I think he's cool. Like, I don't know if it's because he's French. I don't know if that helps, but he I don't know. He puts off a cool guy aura to me, which I did not expect from a 7'5" Frenchman.
Well, yeah. The only thing you expect out of anyone that is 7'5" is incredibly awkward,
Yeah.
strange, like have maybe a weird personality because everyone that looks at him is like, whoa, So
What is wrong with you?
yeah, what's wrong with this guy? So problem like you would understand if he's a little, drawn back and cautious, but that's cool. I need to check that out.
Yeah. It's an interesting conversation for sure. But my winner of the week, Los Angeles Angels fans, which I don't think they've been to playoffs in like 8 years. So it's rare that they get winner of the week. Actually playing some good baseball. Currently in one of the wild card spots there in the AL. But the reason I've got them as my winner, their GM actually came out and basically said, hey, we're in contention. We're doing pretty good. I don't think we're planning on trading Ohtani, which he didn't exactly come out and say, hey, we're not going to trade Shohei Ohtani, but it's better than anything we've heard from them in a while, right? If you're an Angels fan, you got to like hearing that, hey, yeah, we're at least considering not trading him. You know what I mean? Dude is insane.
Can you imagine being an Angels fan would be like having Patrick Mahomes and I don't know who's the next like best player at a different position.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah, like having the two best players in the NFL on your team and not only not making the playoffs, not ever getting close to making the playoffs, never even being close to being in contention. It's the weirdest thing ever, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's got to be frustrating.
But it is. I mean, the trade rumors have been there for a long time, right? With the lack of success that the Angels have had. But now that they're actually in contention, it's interesting because Ohtani's scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent. You risk losing him for nothing, which if you're the Angels, like that is the worst case scenario. But I don't really know what they can do right now. They're playing good baseball, and Ohtani leads. I saw this on ESPN. He leads Major League Baseball in home runs, RBI, slugging percentage, and also opponent's batting average as a pitcher. I mean, the guy's insane.
A similar thing, I saw this. Here's what he leads the Angels in stats: runs, hits, home runs, average, OPS, RBIs, stolen bases, RC. I don't even know what that is. What's RC? I don't know. ERA, wins, strikeouts, batting average against.
Runs created, RC. Created.
Almost every single statistic that there is, he leads the Angels. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's really good at baseball. If you're an Angels fan, you have a little hope, though it kind of felt for a while that he was going to be gone. He's going to be in a Dodgers jersey or a Yankees jersey or wherever. Padres, who knows? But
Padres.
Little glimmer of hope. Little glimmer of hope for a Los Angeles Angels fan. All right, for my loser of the week, thought about going with the rest of the NBA because Vasily Micic actually came. I don't know. I've heard his name said like 10 different ways. So Micic, I don't know. But the guy's 6'5" and he can ball. He's been awesome over in that Turkish league. He's been really, really good in Euro League. I mean, the guy can play. 6'5", can handle, can shoot. And the Oklahoma City Thunder have his rights. We'll see what the Thunder does in the draft. Does he end up being something they can move as an asset? Does he actually want to play for the Thunder? I don't know, but it was a step in the right direction. He's 29 years old. I think he doesn't match the timeline of the team. I think that talking point is way overblown. The guy can play. So I don't know. It was exciting news when you hear one of the best European basketball players is in Oklahoma City. It's not something you hear every day, Ted.
No. And that name sounds like a hitman for like the Russian mafia or something too, doesn't it? I mean, it's an intimidating name.
I know. I like it.
I do
I
too.
want him to play for us.
Yeah. Well, that would be very good. I mean, that'd be an awesome piece. Experienced guy, played a bunch of high level basketball. That'd be good.
Yeah. So we'll see what comes of it. But better news than they have had since they acquired his rights. I think that was like 2020 with in a 76ers trade. But my loser of the week, what are you doing, San Diego State University? What is happening? So here's the situation. If San Diego State wants to leave their conference, the Mountain West, they have to send an official notice before June 30th. And the buyout would be $17-ish million if they give notice after June 30th, right? This is all in the Mountain West bylaws. That buyout doubles to $34-ish million with how the conference distributions are looking. So from what I understand, they sent a letter to all of the presidents in the Mountain West and the commissioner saying they wanted to discuss extending the exit fee deadline to the end of July. And if the other members, they wanted to know, would they consider lowering the buyout fee or allowing them to pay it over several years as opposed to all at once? Everyone in the Mountain West gets this letter and naturally interprets it as, hey, you guys are leaving, which I think we all would interpret it that way. San Diego State says, no. They send out letter 3 and say, no. This was not an official notice that we want to leave. We're just trying to explore all our options and gather information. Ted, I assume the people that run San Diego State have a lot of letters after their name. I assume they are very smart people. How can smart people do something this stupid? I don't understand.
Well, because someone's dangling the carrot in front of them. That's the Pac-12, right? They're all excited about, wow, we have an opportunity to be in a Power 5 conference. Oh my gosh, the timing it's going to be so tight. What do we do? Let's ask for an extension. Really the Pac, if I was in San Diego State shoes, I'd be like, listen, you guys have to get something done right now. If you don't, you can, if you're going to pony up, why don't you guys pay our exit fee, right? It's 17 million, it doubles. If you guys don't get a media rights deal done right away and it goes up 17 million on us, you guys pick that up and we're still at square one. I mean, that's what I'd be negotiating for.
Yeah. It's not a great look for San Diego State, but it's also not a great look for the Pac-12.
I know, that's the thing. And that's how I would leverage it. I'd be like, if you guys don't want to do that, then we'll just go out to the nearest journalist and be like, yeah, the Pac-12, it's not looking good for them. I think we're going to stay in the Mountain West. It's just, they can't get a rights deal. Everything's crumbling around them. Right now, we think it's in our best interest to stay in a non-Power 5 conference.
That would not be a great look for George Kliavkoff. And that continues to be, no one really knows what's going on with that media rights deal. But Chris Vanini had a great article for The Athletic. So I thought the San Diego State, the letters, confusion, and saying it wasn't an official notice, I thought that was bad. And then I read this in Vanini's article. So I guess with the way that the Mountain West works, when you give notice that you are leaving, that automatically removes your school president from the Mountain West Conference Board of Directors. So San Diego State's president is no longer on the Mountain West board, and right now, their Mountain West distribution is going to be withheld as part of the exit fee, even though they may not have anywhere to go. You talk about a self-inflicted disaster. And it's like, no, that wasn't official. Oh, well, we interpreted it as official, and this happens, and this happens, and that's how it works. I was like, oh my gosh. So they're not even in the room getting to hear the other people make fun of them, which has to be a horrible feeling.
That seems like a massive reach by the Mountain West, like to say, no, you're not on the board anymore. Like, I mean, there has to be like, if they don't officially declare, like, that's like a thing, you know. That seems like a big reach. It seems like more of a threat than it is realistic. You know, I guess I haven't seen the letter, but it sounds to me like there's no way that would hold up, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But clearly, just from what I gathered from Vanini's article, like, just something bad for San Diego State, even worse than I thought. And I also think when you talk about them making the move to the Pac-12, right? Because it doesn't sound like the Big 12's interested at this point in time in San Diego State. And maybe Brett Yormark could take advantage of all this chaos and say, hey, San Diego State, come to the Big 12. We'll get into the Pacific time zone like we've been wanting to get, but you get a half share your time here. Maybe he can get them at a discount.
Yeah.
Right. And give them a sense of security. Say, hey, you're only going to get 50% or 75% or whatever when you come, but we're stable. We know what it looks like going forward when the Pac-12, like, were you really going to wait on them to get it done? And maybe San Diego State will, because obviously the location makes a lot more sense for them to be a Pac-12 team. But it also feels like they've got to wait for the Pac-12 to get the media rights deal done. And then they got to wait for Colorado or Arizona or whoever to decide whether they want to stay or leave. I'm not sure if San Diego State has a spot if everyone stays. Maybe they do. But it almost feels like not only are they waiting on the Pac-12, they're waiting on other Pac-12 schools to decide to leave, probably most notably Colorado for the Big 12. It just feels like a terrible position to be in.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, Yormark, you're right. I mean, that would be an interesting. Now, geographically, I think a lot of people kind of get caught up in that. It's like you got West Virginia and you got San Diego. That's tough. But
hey, USC is going to play Rutgers.
That's true. I mean, San Diego State, I mean, they've had really good basketball program at times. They've been really solid at football at times. I don't know what they are at baseball, but
it's just playing the national championship game in basketball. So,
yeah, I mean, it's an interesting pickup.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know this. San Diego State's leadership not having a good time right now with everyone making fun of them.
Nope, not looking good. Who knows? Maybe they end up coming out of this thing and everything works out. But right now, could be independent. Hey, how about that? San Diego State, independent.
Sure.